Hello, parents, and welcome to my back to school night. My name is Mr. Lentz. I am the AP Human Geography teacher here at Chino High, and I would like to welcome you. I have to apologize that I wasn't uh, in here in person tonight. I had a meeting come up that, it's surprising that I haven't had anything come up, and here we are on the back to school night. I'm not able to make it. So instead, I thought it'd be better to make a video, and I can go a little bit past the 7 minute mark, which they limit us in the traditional setting for back to school night. And I can go a little bit more in depth on what your student is going to be doing for this whole year and hopefully set them up for other AP classes if they choose to take them later on in their high school career. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. A little bit about my background. I'm a CVUSD graduate, went to Rolling Ridge Elementary, then Country Springs when that opened, and then from Country Springs went to Canyon Hills Junior High. From Canyon Hills, graduated from Ayala, and then went on to Mount Sac for 2 years. And then luckily I was accepted to the University of La Verne, where I received my bachelor's degree in history, stayed there for my credential, and then went back a couple years later for a master's in educational technology, which is really coming in handy right now. Couldn't have gotten a better master's, let's just put it that way. This is my third year teaching here at Chino High School, but I do have about 5 years experience of in the classroom, whether it be through credential or being a long-term substitute at many of the different schools in the district. And I have to say with 100% guarantee that we've got a good thing going here at Chino High. I'm truly blessed to be here. The staff is amazing. The administration's amazing. I know you normally don't hear teachers say that, and I'm not trying to get brownie points or anything, but we've got such good things going here at this school, and I can't wait to get your son or daughter back into the classroom because it's just taken off. We're just getting started in this class. This is my second year teaching this class. So last year was pretty hectic. This year I think I've got it, still learning on the fly, but I feel much more confident in what we're going to do. I'm very happy to be here. I also teach world history on this campus, and I've also taught health and freshman transition and the law and U class when it is available. So yeah, I've done a lot of different classes in my short time here at Chino High School, which I wouldn't trade it for the world. One thing I want to talk about is how my class is set up. Now, if you've talked to your son or daughter, they've tried to explain to you what we do in our class. The technical term for an ed tech is a flipped classroom. Now, there are some people who disagree with this technique, but I see too many positives not to use this technique. This was the technique that I wrote my master's thesis on. And my master's thesis focused on the pitfalls or the troubles that might come from a flipped classroom if you choose to do so. And again, I wrote this a couple years ago, so everything's pretty fresh in terms of technology. So I'm just going to explain the flipped classroom to you. What is the flipped classroom? Basically, it's where students would normally do things during time at home, they do in class. And what they would normally do in class, they do at home. That's the easiest way to explain it. It is a blended learning technique in teaching. Not many teachers actually use this, but I think that with everything changing, with the COVID, teachers are forced to start adopting some of the flipped classroom behaviors and teaching styles, which I've already been doing and have researched for many years. So basically, my class is structured where when we are in class, students are working. They're either, when we get back to class, we'll be working in groups, we'll be analyzing articles, We will be working on projects. A lot of interaction takes place in the classroom. Unfortunately, I am limited in what we can do over the internet with Google Classroom. I know that there are some updates coming, which I can't wait for because then we can do breakout rooms. I can have group work assigned to certain students. So that's all coming. It should be coming by the middle of this month, I believe, was the update. They're starting to slowly roll stuff out. So there will be more group work, more interaction coming in the class. But you've probably seen your son or daughter listening to my videos. Instead of me lecturing for 50 minutes, them writing down notes real quick or trying to do Cornell notes, I already have guided notes for them. I choose to use guided notes because I think it is way more beneficial than Cornell notes, and it really limits the amount that they have to write. And that's the biggest thing, is time saving in an AP class. The more time I can take from let's say note taking, the more we can spend on reading and outlining from the book, because it is very important that I teach the students outlining techniques, because they will be using it in APUSH, or what's called AP US History next year, and AP Gov. I know that for certain because I work with those teachers as well to help set your student up for success at the next level. So my class is almost seen as kind of a gatekeeping class to see if the students can function at the high level that AP demands, and get them prepared for the next level. And they're also doing this in the colleges as well. I have a sister that is currently going to Cal State Fullerton, and they do this all the time now, even before COVID. A lot of their instruction is online too. It's in the class, but it's also online. So I am preparing them for that next level when they eventually will get to college, because that is the goal of advanced placement classes, getting that college credit. So when we return to normal, the flipped classroom is going to definitely look more normal to me. I'm still trying to work out the kinks of having them do everything at home. Again, there are some limitations that I do have. I mean, there's some fun projects that we just can't do on the computers, that they have to be in class, and there's no way I can modify them. So, but it's no excuse for not learning the material. And I'm very detailed in what I expect of the students, and they should know that, and they ask questions if they do, and they should always ask questions no matter what for this class. So basically, we do a lot of outlining. Like I've said, the notes are guided to help them. And what I do like about the guided notes and doing them on YouTube, I have all of my lectures posted if you'd like to check those out. Your student can definitely show you how I structure all of my notes. But the positive is they can A, do it at their own pace, B, slow it down if they have to, C, put on closed captioning, because it helps where a student might be afraid to ask a question or ask for the teacher to repeat themselves. Well, with my videos, they can access them at any time. I do not limit them in the scope of when they can watch the videos. I do require them to get the notes done at a certain time. But if they ever have to go back, let's say later on in the year, and look at the stuff that we're learning right now, they're more than welcome to. I'm not going to shut down the videos. So what it is, it's basically having my lectures 24/7 availability for them. So there are a lot of other benefits to the flipped classroom, which you will see when we resume normalcy. But if you have any questions on this, please always email me or send a message to your Students Remind 101. They know how to get a hold of me. I usually respond within the hour, or at least I try to, depending on the hour. But it's usually a 24-hour turnaround that I can definitely get back to you. I can answer any questions. We can have a chat on the phone. I'm a total open book here, because I want your students to do that good on this test. Last year's students, I was at the national average. So I was very happy and very proud of my students. They put in a lot of work, they put in a lot of hard work, but the payoff was we were at the national average, and um, yeah, I'm very proud of my students from last year. So I expect nothing less from this group. I've already seen some striking similarities between the two groups, so I'm not worried about this pass rate on the AP test. So what we cover in the class is we have 7 units. The first one is thinking geographically. This is the one that we're in right now. It's just laying the groundwork of geography. Now, you've probably, as a parent, had a geography class where you learned where places are, you had to memorize a map or where countries are. That's actually very little part of our class. Again, this is human geography. This isn't just geography. So in the first unit, it's pretty much just regular geography, but then we move on to population and migration patterns, which is very interesting. If you want to see all of these breakdowns, you can look on my class website, on the Chino High website. I have all of these on their own page, so you can see exactly what your student's going to be learning this year. Population is the next one we are getting to. We will start that next week, probably around Wednesday is what I have planned. And that's, we look at populations, we look at migration patterns, we learn why people migrate, we learn, the one-child policy in China. How did that hurt or help their country? Is it ethical? Is it not ethical? We look at Malthusian theory, where, is there such thing as too many people in the world? We're going to do a fun activity with your students, and Thanos from those Avengers movies, was he correct in what he did? So that'll be a fun debate that we're going to have in class. Unit 3 is cultural patterns and processes. This is where I really want the students to bring in their own personal stories, personal history, but at the same time learn about other cultures as well, types of diffusion, how things spread around the world, how the internet has completely changed the world, phones, how even, the distance decay, it's how the world is basically shrinking is what it is. And we also learn about different religions as well. Now, I don't push religion on anybody. Everybody's free to practice their own religion, but I do give them the basics of every major religion out there. Unit 4 is the political process. This is more international politics. We don't really touch on too much of the American politics. I stay away from that because they will get that in AP government, their 12th grade year, or just regular government, their 12th grade year. But we learn about different forms of government. We learn about, why nations break up. Why do nations stay together? Why do we have people that join together and take over an area, but they're not considered a nation? So we learn a lot about political geography. Unit 5 is agriculture and rural land use, something that we should know about around here in Chino. And that's a very, very interesting topic. Unit 6, cities and urban land use. Why do we have certain cities shaped the way they do? We're going to look at Los Angeles. We're going to look at New York. We're going to look at Shanghai. Why do you build cities the way you do? How do people use those cities? How do people interact from city to city? What is urban data? All that kind of stuff. And then finally, industrial and economic development in Unit 7. Basically, this is our heavy economics and industrial revolution theory. We learn about women and economic development, women's rights through this too, and also world economic changes through the United Nations and other pacts that have been created around the world. So, yeah, it's. I know it sounds like a lot. It is, but we will get through it. I will get your student through it. I promise them. So, finally, I want to end on how to be successful. Your students, I've talked about this time and time again with them, and I will talk about it again, I'm sure. But my main goal of this class is to have them pass the AP Human Geography test at the end of the year. Now, with the whole COVID outbreak, I don't know how it's, I'll be honest with you, they've posted something on their website on how the test is going to go, but I'm holding off on telling the students that because I don't know if it's going to change. Last year, it changed a bit. So I'm going to prepare them with the content, and then once we get a definitive answer as teachers on how they're going to test, then we will attack that when it comes up. But as long as I give them the information correctly, they should be fine no matter what kind of test they get. So that's the main goal, is to get them to get what's called a 3, 4, or 5 score on the AP test. 1 and 2 does not count for any college credit, but 3, 4, and 5 counts as college credit. The next one is I want them to boost their GPA. I think that a lot of students are in this class to boost their GPA, because if they get an A in this class, it's an automatic 4.2. It's not a 4.0, it's a 4.2, because you are taking a college level class. Now, I don't want them to call me a professor or anything, but they have to get in the mindset that, hey, I'm in a college class right now. And I understand as a teacher that they're not at college age, but their work needs to reflect close to it if they want to be successful in college and on their AP test. And also, it's just studying and doing the work, making sure things are turned in on time. I'm very big on things being turned in on time, because in college, professors don't care about your excuses. So I try to really ingrain that in the students. Now, do I understand that the internet sometimes goes down, or there are family situations or things that happen in their life? I completely understand. So if there's something wrong, please email me, please call me, keep me in the loop as much as you want me to be in the loop, so I can help your student be successful. But it's very important that we try to break them of bad habits that they've gotten from junior high and elementary school, on turning things in late or having so much grace period that, it's almost like you punish the students that do good work and turn it in on time, and you give the same grade to those that slack off. Now, I haven't seen that in any of my students so far, so I'm very grateful for that. I'm very happy for that. But as the year goes on, this might become a problem. And I understand that other teachers are giving a lot of work right now. I'm trying to limit the work that I give, but I still need them to do what I give them. I don't waste their time. I think that their time is very, very valuable, and I'm not going to waste it, because I wouldn't want to waste my time if I was a student. So that's pretty much it. I probably went over 7 minutes, so it's better that I do a video than actually talk online, because I can cover a lot more. So if you ever have any questions, please email me. Please have your students send me a Remind 101. I can get back to you pretty quickly. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for taking an invested interest in your student. It makes me very happy that we have great parents here at Chino High. And I've had some great interactions with parents these past 2 years, and I can't wait to see what we're going to be doing. I'm excited for the new school. I'm excited for everything coming in. So with that, I'm going to let you go to your next class or whatever you have to do. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be your student's teacher. Have a great night.